Philippines and China is the legal basis of the country's claim of sovereign rights over its exclusive economic zone. Meanwhile, China staunchly disputes the right of outside powers, principally to the U.S., to influence an issue in what it considers to be its neighborhood.
And ASEAN 对于外国家，我们希望就是不要去刻意的炒作在南海本来就已经存在的一些历史上遗留下来的一些争议，那么而是应该支持中国和东盟为此做出努力，就更不应该那么利用这些问题来挑拨中国和东盟的关系。当然。因为历史上遗留的一些问题，它可能不免有时候也会那么发生一些现实的摩擦。但是我要告诉各位的是，中国和东盟，特别是那么中美国之间，我们已经有了高度的共识，那就是。
His comments, which did not directly reference the U.S., lay down a challenge to Mr. Pompeo, who arrives tasked with delivering a message of reassurance over U.S. power and influence across Southeast Asia. The administration of Donald Trump, which yanked the U.S. from a massive Asia-Pacific trade pact, has launched a rebranded Indo-Pacific security, open seas and commerce strategy that includes ensuring the freedom of seas and skies, insulating sovereign nations from external coercion. President Rodrigo Duterte can declare martial law amid the spate of killing in Negros Orientales, presidential spokesman Salvador Panelo said on Thursday.
He has many options under the Constitution.
Like which one?
He can call the armed forces to quell lawless violence. He can declare martial law.
The Philippine National Police earlier sent 300 elite forces to stop the series of killings, but Panelo said it appears that the augmentation is not enough.
From the judgment of the president, it appears to be so. Especially, he mentioned last night that mas marami ang sumusuporta ngayon sa mga NPA. They're taking advantage nga doon sa pagkakagulo ng mga away sa lupa.
He said Duterte will certainly follow the advice if the military on the ground will recommend the declaration of martial law. Panelo said if there is a need to declare martial law in Negros Oriental, it is not an expansion of the one declared in Mindanao following the 2016 Marawi siege. Raids on jungle drug labs have been met with heavy artillery fire, Myanmar narcotics police said Thursday, in an area riddled with armed groups accused of pumping out much of the world's methamphetamine. Myanmar is under increasingly intense pressure from its neighbors to close down the meth labs festooning lawless parts of Shan State, the heart of the notorious Golden Triangle. A major crackdown kicked off last month in Kutgai Township, northern Shan, the army has said, where an entwined network of drug lords, ethnic rebel groups, and security forces are accused of running a shadow drug economy worth billions of dollars. Huge stockpiles of chemicals as well as millions of dollars of ice, the highly addictive crystallized form of meth, were seized in one raid of homespun labs buried deep in the jungle. The Army and drug police initially conducted raids in the area on July 21, but were repelled by heavy artillery at the site, according to the officer. They returned several days later, busting a massive production site of nearly 100 huts. Police seized 750 kilograms or 1,650 pounds of ice worth an estimated $10.5 million, along with 9,000 yaba pills, caffeine-laced meth tablets, according to the Army. They also found thousands of acid barrels and bottles, stoves, fridges, power generators, and tea bags, which are often used to disguise drugs for smuggling. Rare photos of the cookhouses showed rudimentary huts made from tree trunks and tarps. Methamphetamine production from Myanmar has risen to alarming levels, according to the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime. The country is now believed to be the world's biggest producer of meth.
Is our most important asset, and it should always be a constant effort to seek ways to take care of it. That includes professional medical help from the best available. The Manila-Beijing Medical
delivering a withering takedown of China's leadership of a region it considers its backyard. The U.S. Secretary of State said decades of U.S. alliances and investment had helped Asia walk from poverty to prosperity as he aired the Trump administration's Indo-Pacific strategy in Bangkok. From supporting state-led enterprises to disputes over contested territories, Pompeo took aim at China's actions and motivations in Southeast Asia, rowing back on comments on Thursday in which he told regional diplomats they were not expected to choose sides between the superpowers. He said of the Chinese Communist Party, their investments don't deserve a government and that they don't deserve a political party. Beijing considers Southeast Asia as its neighborhood where its economic, political, and military might has given it primacy, with massive infrastructure and investment schemes striding the region. But smaller powers also accuse China of loading on debt, as well as aggression in the disputed South China Sea, where military buildup threatens the claims of several nations to strategically crucial waters. The U.S. wants the South China Sea, one of the world's most important shipping lanes, to remain open. Serving up a sharp rebuke on China's drive into Southeast Asia, Pompeo said they're not building roads to pave others' national sovereignty and that they don't fund bridges to close gaps of loyalty. His speech came hours after President Donald Trump promised to slap 10% of new tariffs on $300 billion of Chinese goods in a sharp escalation of trade war between the two superpowers. In short panel comments after his speech, Pompeo accused China of protectionism and predatory tactics to give its companies an advantage in global markets. Pompeo is in Bangkok to attend the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Foreign Ministers meeting. ASEAN labor officials and regional social partners got together for a two-day workshop to discuss the fourth industrial revolution and its effects on jobs, labor markets, and nature of employment. From artificial intelligence and robotics to the platform economy, the recent wave of technological change is bound to have profound effects on the relationships between employers and workers. The biggest and most prominent shift so far seen in the region emerged as a result of platform economy. ASEAN member states, with its fast-growing digital economies and huge tech-savvy young population, stand to be affected in varying degrees by this change in employment relations. The workshop also discussed the preliminary reports of a regional study that provides ASEAN an overview of the way jobs, tasks, and skill requirements are changing in response to technological change, particularly the emergence of platform economy work. The study recommendations will be considered by member states on how labor policies and regulations should evolve to address those changes. The workshop was attended by ASEAN labor officials, ASEAN CSR Network, ASEAN Confederation of Employees, and ASEAN Trade Union Council. Under the coordination of the Ministry of Labor, Invalids and Social Affairs of Vietnam, and with the support of ASEAN Secretariat and Just Jobs Network, the study report is expected to be completed before the end of this year.
Visiting the Philippines, Manila or Quezon City is a popular destination. But oftentimes the hustle and bustle of the city can be more stressful on your vacation. So when you feel the need to reconnect to nature or relax again, there's a beautiful oasis just outside of the city called the Garden at Ciudad de Victoria. That you can see here include hydrangea, snapdragon, and stargazers. They're truly beautiful. The gardens at Ciudad de Victoria are so peaceful, tranquil, and beautiful that it's become a haven for young couples and a very popular venue for engagement photos. The next time you want an escape from the big city, the garden at Ciudad de Victoria is a wonderful place to visit.
Welcome back. Indonesia deploys thousands as forest fire rages in Riau province, Sumatra Island, which is close to neighboring countries Singapore and Malaysia. Watch this.
Sampai mentok nanti ada jembatan rusak.
Bang, anggota bang.
Dulu Mi, dulu Mi.
dapat laporan dari mungkin karyawan ini. Jadi setelah kami sampai di sini, kami cek memang kebenarannya ada. Kami tengok lahan yang terbakar cukup luas, aksesnya kurang memadai, terus ditambah dengan air di sini tidak ada, terus angin pun kencang. Mungkin itu disebabkan.
And that is the latest news in the Southeast Asian nations. Stay updated about the ASEAN region. I'm Maricar Velasco and I'm one with 25.